right, let's find out what's going on in the world of paper and pulp and wood products. So we've got the head of International Paper, John Faraci. He joins us from the Business Council annual meeting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. John Faraci, welcome to Bloomberg.
Hi, Pimm. How are you, Pimm? Good to see you.
I'm good. Let's talk about International Paper. Let's talk about IP. I know 2009 you kind of dubbed the year of cash flow. Is 2010 also a big year for cash flow for IP?
Well, we hope 2010 is a period of recovery. We think it's going to be slow, certainly in the United States, but I think we came out of 2009 a much better, much stronger company. So we think we're well positioned if we start to see the economy improve, but it's been pretty hard to see any real significant improvement in the numbers.
What about capacity management? Any details you can tell us?
Yeah, our industry and our company is in good shape as far as capacity goes. We didn't have the excess capacity coming into this recession a lot of other industries had, and International Paper was very aggressive in managing its capacity, so we didn't build our inventories, and right now we've got our supply and demand really in balance.
What's the story with wood shortages? Are you still seeing shortages there for raw materials?
We are. What's happened is we've got weather, and our industry is an outdoor sport. We rely on fiber that grows in the forest to supply our mills, and I think rainfall on the west side of the Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas is 600% above normal. So we've got our challenges, but those are all short term. By the time we get to April, May, that'll be behind us.
Now, I spoke earlier with another business leader, the head of AGCO, Martin Rickenhagen. He said that they have pushed through price increases. You were able to do that in 2009. Are we going to see further price increases in 2010?
Well, we're implementing price increases right now that have been announced in the industry. So when supply and demand is in balance, even though the demand is still relatively weak, we're able to improve our margins, not only through cost reduction, which we've keeping our eye on that because it's very important, but through selective improvement in pricing.
I know that you talked about cost reduction as it relates to the industrial packaging business. I think you targeted, what, about $300 million. Any update you can offer us?
No, there's still more to come. We've gone from integrating that business. Now we've changed our focus to optimizing it, and we've got a huge business with a lot of optimization opportunities. So the good news is International Paper isn't totally dependent on revenue growth to improve our cash flow and profitability. We've got lots of internal things we can do, but we need the U.S. economy to show some sustainable growth.
What about cutting costs related to the use of natural gas or electricity? Are you going forward with those plans?
We are. In fact, we've increased our capital spending this year. Our plan is to spend probably $200 to $300 million more, and all that increment will be on cost reduction projects, some in the U.S. and some outside the U.S., and natural gas and energy is a big part of that.
I'm glad you mentioned outside the United States. Give us some updates on what's going on, let's say, in China. Let's start there.
It's a very different picture. Our volume last year was up 60%. Our business just passed the $1 billion mark in China in 2009. Demand is healthy. The products we're selling in China are basically packaging products, and we're selling them to companies that are making products for Chinese consumers. So we see pretty robust growth in China and are looking for other ways to further increase our business position there.
One of the results of the survey conducted among the Business Council members was that companies looking to deploy capital in faster growing economies. Are you going to be doing that, for example, even more in Brazil? I know you've got a big operation there.
Well, we've done that over the last 3 or 4 years. We're now the largest forest products company in Russia. We're the largest paper company in Latin America. And we've got a #2 position in one of the largest packaging markets in China. So we're still going to look for ways to do that on a selective basis that build on the capabilities and success we've had.
Talk about a joint venture that you've got. I believe it's with Elam. Can you explain a little bit more detail for those that are not familiar with your JV?
Yes, that's a 50-50 joint venture that, combined with the 100% owned business we have in Russia, which makes paper, creates the largest forest products company in Russia. And what we're beginning to do there is to invest about $1.5 billion to modernize and improve the product quality, modernize the facilities, reduce our cost, and expand our capacity to serve a growing Chinese market, because 65% of what Elam produces is sold outside Russia, most of that to China.
John, sorry, go ahead, beg your pardon.
It's an exciting investment and really is a long-term one for International Paper.
Just one question for you, John. On the balance sheet, more debt reduction to come?
We're not finished with paying down our debt. Our balance sheet debt is probably getting close to where we'd like it, but we'll be putting money into our pension plan as we go forward to make sure that stays healthy, and we've been planning for that all along. So I think you'll see the debt reduction probably taking the form of contributions to the pension plan as opposed to the massive reductions in balance sheet debt that we had over the last year.
All right, I want to thank you very much, John Faraci, the head of International Paper, giving us a view of the global paper and packaging industry.